Welcome to Financial Focus, brought to you by GulfCoast Financial Services founder and CEO, John Kuykendall. John and his team of financial, legal, and tax professionals have been providing North Florida savers and investors sound, comprehensive financial guidance for over 30 years, helping you to achieve important life and planning goals. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more Financial Focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net.
And welcome into Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, 8 years and running, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter, the team from GulfCoast Financial Services. More than 30 years serving North Central Florida savers and investors in achieving your financial goals. Founder and CEO John Kuykendall here with us today, talking about one of the most important pieces of retirement, our medical and health care coverage, Medicare. John, open enrollment starts October 15th, goes through December 7th each year, and we are about to enter the time. It is Medicare open enrollment season.
Well, that's right, Peter. You get a lot of hype on the television, a lot of people talking about Medicare. And I actually Googled Medicare and got a bunch of different sites, which were all trying to sell me Medicare insurance. A licensed insurance agent would call me back, but it was really difficult to find the actual Medicare.gov website to find out about Medicare. You know, Medicare is one of the two most important decisions that we're going to make at age 65 or as we reach retirement. One of them is Social Security, whether I go ahead and take it early or whether I wait. The other one is Medicare, because Medicare will determine my health care costs during my retirement. And there's only, one of the great things about Medicare is that 3 months before I reach age 65 and 3 months after I reach age 65, I can make any Medicare decision, go into any Medicare plan I want to without insurability. So if I have existing conditions, I have cancer, I have a bad heart, any insurance company that offers a Medicare supplement in the healthcare program has to take me, and with no conditions and no extra premium.
Yeah, important note of consideration. If you are just turning 65, it doesn't matter what time of year it is, because people obviously turn 65 all year long. You've got 3 months before that birthday, the month of your birthday, and then 3 months after that, you've got that special election period for your new enrollment. But for everyone 65 or above, John, this is really the time of year where we should review and evaluate our coverage choices and options.
That's right, Peter. I mean, it's a great time. Open enrollment only says that you have the option to make changes in the plans that you have. And so during that open enrollment period, we need to take a look at what we have and look at the changes that are being taken place, how the policy is going to react next year. As you know, drug cards change every year, and so we need to find out what our prescriptions are and make sure that we get the best drug plan. Medicare has 4 parts, Peter, as you know. Part A, which is given to us free by the government. Part B, and Medicare Part A covers hospital and inpatient services. Medicare Part B covers the doctors and outpatient, and that cost us money. This year, it's $172.10 for 2022. I don't think we've had the announcement for 2023 yet, but we have to remember that that is indexed for inflation, and so every year that's going to go up. I think it's interesting that in the year 2000, do you know what the cost of Medicare Part B was?
Ooh, significantly lower is my guess.
$45.20.
Wow. And I know that there were some dementia or Alzheimer's medications that came on the market that Medicare also extended coverage for, that were pretty expensive, that were included into that price increase, correct?
Well, that's right. One of the things that Obamacare did when we got the Obamacare program is it made the Part B recipients responsible for half of the losses in Medicare Part B, or half of the call charges. So This year, they actually estimated this drug cost, which was they far exceeded the amount that it was going to take. And so they raised it from 146 to 170, a 14.7% increase, the most we've ever had.
Is that why we should be getting money back?
I don't think so. I haven't heard of a give back program yet.
No, I'm surprised when you Googled it, though, John, that you didn't come up with Henry Winkler, the Fonz, or Jimmy Dynamite Walker.
Yeah, there's no give back. And all we have to do is show the government the money. That's all we got to do is pay that 172.10. It'll probably be more next year as this goes on because of Medicare Part B. Costs continue to go up, and we're responsible for part of that. And as you know, Medicare Part B is also indexed for income. So the more you make, the more you have to pay. And it can go up to almost $500 a month per person based upon your income. So higher wage earners pay considerably more for Medicare than anyone else. You know, in 2017, the Health View Services did a survey and found out that a healthy 65-year-old couple would spend approximately $321,000, almost $322,000 during their retirement years on Medicare premiums and deductibles, because eye and vision and things like that aren't covered, and we also have deductibles and we have to pay, and also our drug cards. Now, when you add in the deductibles and all the other things, it actually comes up to $404,000 for the average couple. That doesn't include any kind of confinement. So if we have a confinement situation where that's running $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 a month now, and Medicare costs are going up higher than inflation, so you can see that this is one of the most important decisions and one of the most expensive things that we have to face in retirement is Medicare cost or medical cost. So we need to make sure we make the right decision. Also, we have Part C, which I consider to be a supplement. Some people consider it to be an advantage plan, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then we have Part D, which is our drug card. And with the drug or the prescription card, there are different charges for different medications. They're all called tiered. And so you pay more for different medication. But those, like I said, that drug card changes every year. And we need to make sure that we review that so that we can get the best bang for our buck, because we don't want to go into the donut hole, as you know. And when I say the donut hole, I'm not talking about Krispy Kreme. I'm talking about that when our drug costs equal $4,430 in 2022, we go into this hole, which makes us responsible for 25% of the cost of the drugs. We stay there until we get to $7,050. And then after that, we go back to where we were with our prescription drugs. So from $4,400 to a little over $7,000, we're responsible for more of those drug costs. It's a confusing, complex problem. It's complicated, and not everyone is going to understand it.
Well, while those premiums, deductibles, copays, and drug costs all sound very expensive, there is no cost, John, for speaking with a qualified, experienced, licensed agent who can walk you through the process and help you make your choices and selections so that you can control and lower those expenses where possible.
Well, that's right, Peter. But, the problem is that we have Joe Namath and Dynamite, whatever his name is, on TV talking about these advantage plans. There are all these Medicare help centers that have sprung up selling Medicare plans, selling advantage plans. And clients need to understand whether they're dealing with a salesperson or someone that's trying to advise them on what will be best for them.
It is Hollywood Joe, not the Fonz. I misspoke. I think the Fonz is selling colonial or final expense insurance. It's Hollywood Joe Namath that is.
Oh yeah, Joe Namath's on TV all the time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't get to punt when we make this decision. So those are the four parts of Medicare. Now, Advantage plans are becoming very popular.
Yeah,
But
50%
if
of
you,
those eligible have gone with Medicare Advantage plans, which replace the original Medicare Part A and Part B combination, correct?
correct, what you're doing is you're assigning your Medicare rights over to the insurance company, and then they are billing Medicare and charging a fee for Medicare for them to handle this. Of course, it works great for the government. It's like outsourcing all the cost of having to handle those billings and also the filings and all. But you, as an individual, it might not be in your advantage to have an Advantage plan because there are certain limitations and conditions on Advantage plans. And while they sound wonderful, as I've mentioned one time before on the show, we had a lady who had cancer. She had an Advantage plan. Her health care cost or treatment was $5,000 a month that she was paying out of pocket.
Wow.
Now, she said, okay, during open enrollment, I just go back to another plan, right? Get me covered. No, I have to be cancer free for 2 years until I can get into a regular Medicare supplement that's going to pay for my treatment. So that's the reason we need to be careful. One is I need to make sure that my doctor's in the network. If I'm in an Advantage plan, there's no guarantee that my doctor is going to stay in the network. I know from personal experience, 1 year I was on an Advantage plan and my doctor got changed, and I was going to have to drive 40 miles to see my doctor, who I'd never met before, never seen, didn't know anything about him, but that's what they assigned me. Luckily, I was able to get out of the Advantage plan and go back into a regular plan in February. And so I was able, and I didn't have any healthcare concerns. So it worked out for me. But a lot of people don't have that choice, Peter.
Now, I know some plans do provide things such as transportation benefits, but that's not going to cut down on that travel time. We do need to take a look at that annual change notice, because every plan, I believe, John, is required to send out a notice and notification of the official changes that will incur. And many plans from year to year do change their structures, costs, and benefits.
Well, most of them change from year to year. And so, if you're in a supplement's the same no matter which insurance company it's with. The government regulated supplements. And so A through G plan, all those plans offer from any insurance company offer the same benefits. You can't go, one insurance company is not going to take something out. It's against the law. The government requires those to be the same. Advantage plans are not regulated. It's kind of like buying Bitcoin. You're getting whatever that insurance company wants to give you. In my case, the insurance company actually changed my doctors after open enrollment was over. So it wasn't like I could make a decision during open enrollment. They had sent me the changes, and then after open enrollment, evidently they changed their payment to doctors, and my doctor opted out. So we need to be careful that we understand what we're doing. This is a huge cost during retirement. Medical costs are going to be very expensive. As we get older, we need doctors, we need treatment, joints wear out, cancer happens, life happens. And so we need to make sure that we do the best job we can during that open enrollment period, and during that period of time when we can go to any insurance company, any policy, any plan we want to, and we need to stay there.
Again, very important that you review your plan options for the coming year, and you can enlist the help of an experienced, qualified, licensed professional to do so with you at no cost, with no obligation, and then you can choose what action to take. You may review all of the available options and coverage and stay the course. You may review and make a change, and there are several different types of changes that you can make, whether you are changing doctors, changing locations, changing medications, you're just dissatisfied. Maybe you're willing to pay more in premium for lower co-pays on visits, or you're new to the community because, John, as I understand it, every zip code actually actually has a different set of criteria of plans and coverage options.
That's right. When you hear on television that you're going to get free eye, you're going to get free dental, you're going to get all this stuff, and you're going to get money back, that doesn't necessarily mean that your zip code or your income, that you're eligible for any of that. It's just a way to get you to call the insurance company so they can have a licensed agent tell you what they're doing.
And in fact, John, I believe I have heard that has been so problematic with call centers talking to people that didn't necessarily meet the criteria for giving them sound guidance and advice, that the new requirement in law this year is that all calls regarding Medicare coverage have to be recorded and documented by law.
Well, I think that's a great plan. I think that's a great part to kind of solving some of the problems. But, when you see somebody on television, I want what's mine, and they say it over and over again, pretty soon you start thinking that you're missing out on something. And unfortunately, we're not. I have checked my zip code. I know what I'm eligible for. I know how much I have to pay. And I can tell you this, that going through hip surgery, knee replacement, 2 back surgeries, cataract surgery, I'm really glad that I made the decision when I made it to get the best Medicare supplement I could while I was eligible to get it. I don't have any regrets about that. We just want you to get what you can afford, the four P's, right? Price, what you can afford, your budget, and all that sort of thing. You've seen that commercial on television 1,000 times. But we want to make sure that you get the most for the money and that you're able to have the best coverage possible so that your Medicare costs won't eat up your retirement.
Medicare is confusing, complex, and overwhelming. You need the help of an experienced, qualified professional to navigate the Medicare world. And John Kuykendall and the team there at GulfCoast Financial Services can certainly help walk you through that process. Give them a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, to set up a complimentary review conversation of your benefits, of your coverage during this OEP open enrollment period. Your chance to review your benefits and coverage and make any necessary or desired changes. 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. John, any other important aspects of Medicare we need to discuss and make sure individuals that are 65 or above understand?
I think the best thing to do, Peter, is to get a list of your prescriptions from your doctor. The amount of the prescription, the name of the prescription, if there's a generic for that medication. And when you go talk to the professional, take that with you so that we can look. Like I said, in our particular area, there are 5 different drug brands. All the 5 drug brands have different prices. They also cover the medicine different. So we can look and determine which Medicare plan on the drug card is right for that client. Don't walk in and just say, hey, I want to sign up. You need to have some information ahead of time. Now, the one thing we need to watch out for, we're getting more and more people 65 and over retiring, or 65 over on Medicare. And unfortunately, it's like Social Security. Medicare, the fund, actually goes negative, where it's going to be paying out more money than it's taking in about 2 years. And it's predicted in the last report from the Hospital Insurance Trust Fund that in 2028, the Medicare fund will run out of money. So we need to be watching those legislation. Talk to your congressman, your legislature. Medicare and Social Security are something that's got to be addressed sometime. We can give away back free college education or these funds, but we need to also be aware of the seniors who put all this money aside for all this time, and somehow the funds need to be replenished, or we need to be indexed for income somehow.
Maybe there'd be some way we can prompt them into doing something about it, John, and being a little bit more proactive. If only they managed those trust funds like they managed their personal investment assets, I think we'd be in a lot better shape.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I agree, Peter. Somehow the money just keeps going out and not coming in. But we should have, the fact that we're paying so much for Medicare Part B is, I told you, $45 to $172, $170.10. We're paying considerably back into the fund, and where that money's going and how they're using it, I don't know. But somewhere we're going to have to make some hard decisions about what's going to happen to Medicare, what's going to happen to Social Security. And the sooner we make those, the better off we're going to be. More and more people 65 and over are reaching that age. We knew the boomers were coming. They're here. They keep coming every day. And we've got to get ready for the next generation. So we need to be proactive and take a stance sooner or later. But Medicare, Social Security, Medicare are really important. It will help you make your retirement the kind of retirement that you want. Don't listen to the hype. Don't listen to the Joe Namath and the celebrity of the world. Get with your financial advisor and get the advice you need, and make sure that you're getting what you want, not what someone's selling you.
Not so dynamite if you don't have the right coverage plan and options to help control those costs. So let's make sure that you speak with a true professional in the field, knowledgeable, credible, doing their due diligence to help you make the best selections. And you have that resource there at GulfCoast Financial Services, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up the phone, give a call if you've got questions, would like to set up a time for a conversation. 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. John, an important topic. We appreciate you covering it. We appreciate your guidance and perspective.
Well, we just want to make sure, Peter, that all the people out there listening don't have their retirement plan blown up by misconceptions on what they should do. They should make the right decision. We have one time to do it right, and let's make sure we get it done right then. Thank you.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities, Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities, Inc. or Kovac Advisors, Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.